Hey guys, I'm Tatiana Zubova. Welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll talk about how to work with acrylic paints. We will paint an autumn landscape with acrylic. You'll also have a review of Phoenix acrylic paints. In the previous video I showed you a big parcel that came to me from the Phoenix company. It is the largest art materials manufacturer in China. A link to this video is in the description. Today we will unpack and try their acrylic colors. I have two sets of paints for 24 and 12 colors. First of all, we'll do the color chart. I make similar color tables for oil and acrylic paints. It clearly shows the tint and transparency of the paints. In this table you see the serial number of each paint, then the opacity, which is indicated by a circle. The filled black circle indicates opaque paint. Half-filled circle indicates semi-transparent paint, and a blank circle means that the paint is transparent. Next, in the table you see the pigment code on the paint. PY means yellow pigment, PO means orange pigment, PR means red pigment, etc. You can read all this information on each tube of paint. As you can see, the opaque of the paint, which is indicated on the tube, isn't always the same as the real opaque on the paint. So I recommend you to do such a visual table for each of your new colors. It is necessary to you before the start of the work is already known properties of these paints, and this applies to both oil and acrylic paints. When you paint with acrylic paints, it is very important to know their transparency, especially for light paints. We must understand can the light colors cover the dark colors. And so, I suggest you do the experiment. Create a transparency table for acrylic paints on black paper. Now, I fill out the table with all necessary information. We use the same data as in the previous table, which was made on a white canvas. Acrylic paints can be painted on almost any surface, and for such a table you can take both canvas and cardboard and paper. Now I take the paint directly from the tube and paint over all 5 table cells. You see that many colors are very transparent on a black background. By the way, we have to consider another interesting property of acrylic paints. Unlike oil paints, acrylic often change their tone and saturation after drying. After the first layer has dried, we continue layering paints. The second layer is already denser. We will continue such manipulations as much as 5 times. We will get 5 layers. This will allow us to conclude how many layers all these specific paints are needed to get their most dense tint. Now let's see what we got. Take a look. After the third layer, nothing has changed. Those shades that lay a thin, uneven layer remain so. Those shades that already gave a dense coating to the third layer also remained at the same dense in the fourth and fifth layers. This means that the 3 layers is enough to show the shade in its entirety. In this set I really liked brown shades, ochre, blue, green, but I didn't like yellow and red, they are not pigmented enough. And now I suggest you watch how I paint the autumn landscape with these acrylic paints. In this painting I will also use synthetic brushes by Phoenix, which are suitable for acrylic and oil paints. I wish you a pleasant viewing and see you in the next videos. Bye bye!